Since over a year, I've been hosting a vibe coding event in Cologne, and every time about a third of the entire audience of 100 people sitting in front of me are honestly saying like, I've been messing around with ChatGPT, but I'm here to learn what happens beyond. And this is in the stark contrast to the more experienced AI engineers and developers who have different needs. So this video and this Captain's Insights edition is explicitly for people who are at that point where you're wondering, what can I do beyond tools like Gemini, ChatGPT, the basic Claude chat, things like that. So this is beginner friendly. Lean back and let me show you where you can take it. An important mindset shift I want you to take here from the get-go is by not thinking in tools. They are the same at the moment. And rather think in the tasks you are doing on a weekly basis. If you don't have tasks where AI can help you regularly, then it's not helpful for you. You're done already. But I will show you the many tasks we do now, everyday work that you can handle. And to show you how similar these tools are, let me just switch to my Claude here. This is the Claude desktop app. There's a chat at the center. You can switch to co-work. You can switch to code. I switch to ChatGPT. Looks the same. There's a chat app here. I can switch to work. I can switch to code. We are looking not at specific tools here, but what we can do for you with these tools for real. So to learn, the first thing we need to consider is what is a task you do repeatedly every week where you could benefit beyond ChatGPT. As you saw from the screens I just showed you from Claude and ChatGPT, there are essentially like 3 work modes you can have. And I also think in these 3 levels. Chat, a nice thinking partner, co-work who can get the work done with me, and code who allows me to build the tools that get the work done. This is what I want to take you along with. I'm kind of expecting that you already have used chat in some way. You realized, oh, damn, this is better than Google actually. It researches for me, it writes drafts for you, it allows you to discuss a topic or have it explained to you, and that is a beautiful thing. Where it runs out is actually doing the work for you. And this is what you will hear and feel again and again. Right now, if you are just used to chat, it's like you have to go to the AI all the time and it's giving you a response. You're taking that response, maybe copying it somewhere else, and there the job gets done. The more you move into level 2 and 3, which we will discuss in a second, the more the AI will do work for you proactively. If you even want to get the most out of chat, try one of these prompts to copy here. Instead of just typing in a simple request, ask the AI to gather some context on you. Tell it, for example, that you don't want it to be just a search engine, but you're actually a thinking partner. Ask it to interview you with at least 5 questions and not give any answers before it has enough context for you. Even such simple things like that will improve the quality that you get out of simply working in ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini greatly. But the question is, are you already maybe hitting the ceiling of using just ChatGPT? And I have a couple of checkboxes for you to click that kind of show, you're probably need to move on. If you are re-explaining your business or your situation every time you start a chat, then it's a sign that you haven't given it enough context. If you still copy the output of a chat into another tool where the actual work happens, like in a Google Sheet or in a Word document, that is a sign you need to move beyond. If you ask about concrete numbers in your business or your project, and it's sometimes just inventing numbers, or it just doesn't have any access to your real numbers, that is a ceiling. If the same task gets redone from scratch every week and you don't have a system where the AI actually gets better and better at helping you with that task every week. And if you still have this list of prompts that you keep on pasting in instead of having that managed already in your Claude or your ChatGPT. These are all signs that you need to move beyond level 1 and that there is very high value for you to enjoy level 2 a lot. So as a beginning exercise, I now want you to pick a task that you do every week and describe your situation a little bit. Here are a couple of tasks that are very frequently happening in my work and the people I work with. So let's say every week you write a report that nobody wants to write. You have to collect the numbers from multiple places, update a PowerPoint presentation. That could be you. That is a great thing to automate. How about you're having regular meeting and you're having trouble actually following through and following up with these people that you can easily automate? What about telling you what to do next? What are your priorities? Looking through your inbox, your calendar, your existing pipeline, and telling you what to focus on? Or regularly answering questions about your business you currently cannot answer, like how much are we spending on this and that, or where do our users come from, etc. You can totally type in something else, but take any of these for the beginning, let's say the weekly report, and choose which situation you're currently in. Like, do you have a service business or do you own an agency? Are you building a product? Are you more in the content business? Are you employed? Or are you still deciding what to build very early? So these days, I'm mostly building software products and I do a lot of content and community stuff. So what this means, if you want to have the weekly report in a software as a service business, a simple chat like here on ChatGPT or on Claude, they would write maybe a plausible template, but none of the actual answers and the real numbers in it. If I move up to co-work, let's say here, and I give it access to important files on my machine and add a couple of connectors that we will get to, it will actually have access to the correct numbers. These are also available in chat, but the agent doesn't also use your computer, your browser to do the work that you need to get done. On level 3, we would not just have a tracker project, but we would actually build a place that could send us every Friday afternoon an email with a PDF or a dynamic dashboard link that updates itself with trends over multiple weeks. So here you can kind of test what are my use cases? Let's say I'm in a service business and I want to know what to do on Monday. A chat cannot see any of what is going on in your business. Co-work with Connection could read your mails, look at your calendar, and tell you in the chat what to do. And in Code, which might be overkill, not everyone needs to go through all levels, it would send you an upfront mail every Monday morning at the specific time you want that gives you all of the context, maybe even has 3 out of the 7 tasks done for you already. So every business kind of has a floor, what it needs to learn at the minimum. It's mostly, do you want to go to co-work? Do you want to go to Code? And we will dig into this. I hope this little exercise helps you get to the place where you want to go and give you some ideas on what the agent can actually do for you on all 3 levels and a bit what the difference between those 3 levels are. So let's dig in deeper to those levels. Level 2, you start thinking about AI like a colleague. That is, in general, a very helpful framework to think about. Not to use it as a pure tool, but something like a human in your work life that needs context and permissions. And this is where the co-work level starts. Let me switch to my own Claude to show you a little bit what that is. Here we switch in the home level to co-work. We could now add a fixed project folder to it that might have important files on it about the business, maybe presentations, maybe spreadsheets of this type. And I can now connect different tools to it. And you can see that I have many tools connected here. Attio is my CRM. Google and Calendar and Google Drive, you all already know. Linear is my project management tool. Notion is my knowledge base. Slack is where the team communicates. Stripe is where we can review revenue. And of course, I can also give it control over my browser on my computer if I choose to. And this leads to much more complex queries where I can ask you to build a presentation for me, to create a dashboard, to write a spreadsheet with complex formulas for me, and then send this over through email by drafting it, attaching the files, and letting me finalize the email and send it off. That is a huge difference, treating your AI as a coworker over just another tool. So this is one step better. It takes your better thinking from chat and actually turns that into mostly finished work. What it doesn't do yet is it doesn't do it very efficiently most of the time. You still need to train it through skills, for example, until you are satisfied with it. But it probably won't do everything as efficient as if you were at level 3, where you can actually write or have an AI write code for you to do this job better and better every single week. If you want to get started with level 2, then take this prompt where you ask the agent, hey, I got these recurring tasks. Like, ask me, what tools do you need access to? Ask me how I want the output to be and who is it supposed to be sent to, and let the agent help you do those connections to the tools that you need to get the job done. So it's really like a coworker. A coworker doesn't just start and get access to everything. It needs permissions, and it needs to earn your trust to deserve those permissions. Treat the agent the same way, start carefully, and over time, give it more and more leash. So what do you possibly could get even more from level 3 beyond the coworker? It's building little machines that do the work for you without you attending it, visible for your own self, for your team, and if you choose to, also for your customers. So this time, we are actually able to build the tools that can do the work with us or for us. So for example, the dashboard I need every Friday is updated on an hourly basis, and I can check it whenever I want. I could even send that link with the permission and password to my colleagues who can use that as well. Or I could build a cool tool for my leads that want to become customers of mine, but they need some more interactive way to see what the value is of working with me or using my product. I can now build these types of customer-facing tools in Claude Code. And you switch to Claude Code from home. We have chat and cowork in the top left to code. And it already has here all of my stuff open on the left-hand side. If we switch to a chat, the same thing you can do here is if you have the chat desktop app installed, you switch to Codex and you have a very, very similar environment. You can use both of these. They all do pretty much the same. And if you're already paying for the ChatGPT subscription, Codex is included. If you want to try something new, and the thing that I would recommend, and maybe also to really like make a statement of that you're now leveling up, you're moving away from the simple ChatGPT, get a Claude account. So here I'm, for example, working on the article we are going through right now, and I give it all of my input with all of the knowledge from Pirate Skills, and I have it in here, and I can work on my website by simply talking to it, which is totally fascinating to me. So a website is also one of those tools that you can build. And if I open up this, you can see that I do so many things. I do all of my daily customer relationship management here. I manage my knowledge base. I do campaigns through here. I manage my events. I do all of my email marketing. And all of these things have one thing in common. They, for whatever reason, have code as one of the outputs of the work. A website article is written in code. A newsletter is written in code. Events have event landing pages, which are done in code. And the connections to Zoom or the Startplatz registration system, all happening here in code. And therefore, I've the maximum flexibility. I can do everything I can in Cowork, but I can also use all of the connectors I showed you before, and it has the vast knowledge of everything that I've already built inside of Pirate Skills and everything that I present to customers on my website, making a lot of work that I would have to repeat in chat or in Cowork unnecessary and automated, and really into a beautiful customer-facing experience or into extremely valuable dashboards for my own business and tools that help me do a lot more work in fewer time. Now, what is a prompt you could start here? You go to Claude Code, open a folder, and then you say like, hey, I'm doing these tasks again and again. Can you help me build a tool that will visualize this for me, do the work, and ensures everything is done correctly and gives me an easy way to review things. However you want to formulate it, but keep it simple in the beginning, try things out, and see what this third level can do for you. No one has to go to level 3. Level 2 unlocks a lot of things, but as you have seen, all of my work, even though I'm not a technical co-founder, I very much prefer going to level 3 for 99% of my work. And the good news is, it's all the same. Let's take one more look at this. At the end of the day, you have a chat window, you talk to it. In chat, you have this chat window. In Cowork, you have this chat window plus a folder. In Code, it's always the same. Don't be scared by it. You don't have to relearn everything. It's just an interface that you can use with your natural language, and it can do a lot of things for you. If you like this so much, and you think, all right, but what does this mean for me? I want to ask you a couple of questions. I do this now in a new format that I coined the AI Compass as a monthly event that you don't have to visit many times, just once. The other events that I do usually do something different here. But I have decided to do once a month the AI Compass event that has one goal: to give you the best onboarding experience you could possibly imagine for yourself and your friends who think you can need it for free online to really understand what you can do past ChatGPT. So imagine this being similar to what we just did, but in a very interactive format where you can see from many people what their challenges are, where they are stuck with, and where you see that you're not alone. This currently shows up as August 26th, but we are going to update this and do it every third Wednesday of the month. So if you're interested, go to pirateskills.com and just click on the events page and find the AI Compass here. Sign up for that if you feel like there must be something more for us to discover beyond ChatGPT, for our own productivity, for our team, for the product vision that I finally can build myself without waiting on permission. But if you want to just keep it here casual, no problem. On the article page that I'll link in the description, I also have a 7-step plan here that you can just go through mentally and do the checkboxes to see how to move one task through the levels. Remember, it's not a new tool. It's about the work that you are doing on a regular basis that will uncover all of the learning process for you. So start by picking a task that is repetitive and annoying and where you can imagine that an AI can help you with this. Write it down, what you actually needed. Connect the tools that it needs access to do so. If you're using Gmail to do this or using the browser, give the agent access to those tools. Then do the task with AI in the loop badly. What would I do? I would go to Claude. If you're not sure yet, start with Cowork and just start doing that task in there, adding the connectors you need, just the ones you need and that you trusted for the moment. And with every connector, you can decide, should it only read or do writes? Do you want it to ask for permission or not? That grows over time. Then you give it feedback and let it do it again. And it fixes the worst parts, and then you can hand over the whole task after a while and watch it, and then you can decide, is it fine doing this on level 2 with Cowork from now on, or do you actually want to build a tool around it that involves some code? Then you move to level 3. That's it. That you do for every single task. And this is what happened to me here for all of my projects. Let's take another one. This conversation is handling all of my ads. This conversation is connected to all of my data question. This is doing the strategic planning for me. This is doing organic content. This is building the funnel. This is doing security review. And all of this stuff now happens in these conversations. Get used to that and your productivity will rise. All right, that's it from me. Remember, this is one of the Captain's Insights. You can read it on our blog. You can watch it on YouTube. You can listen to it on our podcast. And I hope this is the resource that we can happily recommend to our friends and family members who are at the edge of really getting what is possible with AI right now. Good luck and have fun. Bye-bye.